Welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you want to seamlessly launch a new product line or rebrand your Maryland LLC without dealing with a mountain of expensive legal paperwork, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're mastering one of the most powerful tools in any business owner's toolkit, the trade name.
Picture this totally relatable scenario. You've officially formed your business. Let's say it's called Smith Enterprises LLC. You've got your liability protection fully in place, which is great. But for your day-to-day operations and marketing, you really want to run a customer-facing brand called Smith's Roofing. Your legal name just feels a bit too clunky for a storefront or a billboard, right? So how do you legally connect the two? You definitely don't want to go through the incredibly expensive and time-consuming process of forming a brand new LLC just to use a different name. Well, the solution is actually a very simple filing, and that is exactly what we're going to master today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got a clear 5-step roadmap today. First, what is a trade name? Second, preparing your application. Third, the filing process. Fourth, timelines and maintenance. And finally, takeaways and disclaimer. Section 1. What is a trade name? Now, if you've done any research on this topic, you've probably heard the acronym DBA, which stands for Doing Business As. While folks all across the country casually say DBA or assumed name, Maryland officially uses the exact term trade name on all its state forms. This whole process is handled by the Maryland State Department of Assessments and Taxation, commonly referred to as SDET. Basically, filing for a trade name simply grants your existing LLC the legal authorization to operate, market itself, and enter into contracts under a title that is completely different from its registered legal name. It doesn't create a new legal entity, it really just acts as an official alias for your current one.
To put this into perspective, let's say your foundational LLC is registered as Holly's Produce LLC. With a trade name, you can legally launch a specialized vegan restaurant called Vegging with Veggies. Your parent LLC remains the underlying legal structure, meaning it retains all of its liability protections and tax status. But to the public, you are simply Vegging with Veggies. This allows you to open a business bank account, accept checks, and build targeted brand recognition under that specific trade name, all without incorporating a whole new business.
Section 2. Preparing your Maryland application. Before you even think about filling out a form, you've got to know that Maryland has strict naming rules. There are 3 absolute prohibitions you must keep in mind so your application doesn't get immediately rejected. First, your chosen trade name has to be administratively distinct from any other business name currently on file in Maryland. Just slapping the word "the" at the beginning or tweaking the spacing just isn't going to cut it. Second, and this is a major pitfall, no misleading entity suffixes. An LLC cannot legally use a corporate identifier like Inc. or corporation in its new trade name. The state really doesn't take kindly to corporate identity theft, even when it's your own business. And third, certain restricted words like bank, trust, or credit union require official regulatory clearance because you can't go around suggesting a connection to a financial institution or government agency if you don't actually hold the proper licenses.
And building on that point about clearances, it is absolutely crucial to note that certain sectors require secondary approvals before you can even register the name. For example, if your LLC operates in the home improvement sector, you have to verify and clear your desired trade name with the Maryland Home Improvement Commission prior to submitting your paperwork to SDT. It is always smart to check if your specific industry has a regulatory body that requires a naming sign-off.
Section 3. The step-by-step filing process.
The actual filing process basically boils down to these 3 highly manageable, action-oriented steps. Step 1, you must search the state database using the Maryland Business Express online portal just to confirm your name is actually available and hasn't been claimed by someone else. Step 2, complete the trade name application. Whether you decide to do this online or on paper, you'll need to provide your LLC's full legal name, its principal address, its ASTAT ID number, which usually starts with a letter, followed by 8 numbers, and a brief description of the nature of your business. And then step 3 is simply paying the filing fee and submitting your application to SSTAT's Charter Division.
Now, the big question is deciding how fast you actually need this paperwork processed, because Maryland offers a tiered fee structure based on speed. The standard-based state fee is incredibly affordable at just $25, but it can take about 4 to 8 weeks to process. If you need it faster, you can request expedited service, which processes in about 10 business days for a total of $75. And if you are really in a bind, like maybe you absolutely have to open a bank account tomorrow, you can pay a $425 rush fee on top of the base fee to get same-day service. But catch is, you have to submit your paperwork by 2:30 p.m. on a business day to get that.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the fine print regarding payment methods. If you file online through Maryland Business Express, you're going to be subject to technology and convenience fees.
A credit card will hit you with a 3% surcharge, while an e-check or ACH transfer incurs a $3 flat fee. But ironically, in our highly digital age, the ultimate financial life hack here is actually the Postal Service. If you choose to print the PDF application and file it by mail with a traditional paper check, you are entirely exempt from all those convenience fees. It's a great actionable tip for those of you who aren't in a rush and just want to keep overhead as low as possible.
Section 4. Timelines and maintenance.
So what does the actual life cycle of a trade name look like? It's actually incredibly logical. On day 1, you submit your application. Fast forward to approval, and you'll receive your official trade name certificate. This piece of paper is absolutely vital. With it in hand, you move right into operations, meaning you can confidently take that certificate to the bank, open an account in your new trade name, and start accepting payments under that brand. You can also officially order signage and run your marketing campaigns. But keep in mind, this registration isn't permanent. When you reach year 5, you hit the maintenance phase, where you must file for a renewal.
I literally cannot emphasize this number enough. 5. A Maryland trade name is valid for exactly 5 years from the date of acceptance. You can renew it at any time during the 6 months leading up to its expiration date, and the renewal fee is just $25. It is absolutely essential to track this deadline, folks. If you fail to renew, your LLC could fall out of good standing with the state, and you risk forfeiting your right to use that trade name entirely.
Section 5. Key takeaways and disclaimer.
Let's recap the core evergreen principles so you're totally prepared to tackle this. First, remember that if you're looking for a DBA in Maryland, you need to look for trade name on all the state forms. Second, preparation is everything. Ensure your name is distinct and completely avoids misleading suffixes like Inc. if you are an LLC. Third, you've got options for filing. Use the Maryland Business Express online portal if you need speed, or mail a paper check if you want to save on those convenience fees. And finally, please mark your calendar, because you absolutely must renew this registration every 5 years to keep your brand secure.
And of course, a quick but crucial best practice disclaimer for any small business owner navigating state laws. The information provided in this explainer is intended for general guidance only and does not constitute professional legal advice. Every single business structure is completely unique, so please consult with the legal professional or an attorney for advice that is specific to your business situation in Maryland, just to ensure you're fully compliant.
So, there you have it. You now possess the complete blueprint to legally and effectively expand your LLC's brand identity. The state has made the process accessible, affordable, and really flexible. The only question left is, what will your Maryland LLC's next great trade name be? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and best of luck building your business.